May 4th. A broad central US trough is driving organized convection from the southern plains into the Midwest today, with Dallas-Fort Worth, Kansas City, St. Louis, and Chicago most exposed to delays and routing impacts. Expect a corridor of thunderstorms along a sharpening dryline and advancing cold front, with embedded strong cells producing heavy rain, gusty outflow, and localized IFR. Tops will be significant, so anticipate deviations and fuel impacts on north-south flows through this axis. Behind the front, the high plains into eastern Colorado and western Kansas trend drier, but remain windy with deep mixing, supporting moderate turbulence below flight level 250 and mechanical chop downwind of terrain. Across the Rockies, a split flow regime keeps conditions largely VFR west of the divide. But lee-side wave activity and mountain obscuration persist at times, especially along the Front Range into Denver, with periodic gusts and light to moderate turbulence in the climb and descent corridors. The West Coast sits under a weak ridge, so California from Los Angeles through the Bay Area stays predominantly VFR, with typical marine layer stratus hugging the coast in the morning hours, bringing brief MVFR sealings before clearing. Winds remain onshore, but manageable with minimal convective concern. The Pacific Northwest holds on to a more unsettled pattern with a passing disturbance, keeping scattered showers and mountain obscuration around Seattle and Portland, with occasional MVFR and light icing in the higher terrain layers. Transitioning east, the lower Mississippi Valley into the Tennessee and Ohio valleys sits downstream of the main trough, where moisture transport supports widespread cloud cover and periods of showers with embedded thunder, leading to fluctuating ceilings and visibility around Memphis, Nashville, and Louisville, generally MVFR with brief IFR in heavier cells. Further northeast into the mid-Atlantic and northeast, a weakening frontal boundary and residual moisture maintain a mix of low ceilings and intermittent light rain from Washington through Philadelphia, New York, and Boston, with the primary operational issue being persistent MVFR and occasional IFR during the morning push, gradually improving but slow to fully scour out under weak flow aloft. Across the southeast, including Atlanta, Charlotte, and the Florida Peninsula, a moist and unstable air mass supports scattered afternoon convection developing along sea breeze boundaries and inland troughing. Expect typical pulse thunderstorms with brief heavy rain, gusty winds, and short-lived visibility restrictions, especially around Orlando, Tampa, and Miami, while morning conditions remain largely VFR outside of patchy low stratus. At altitude, the strongest jet energy remains displaced north of the primary convective zone, but expect areas of moderate turbulence on the southern flank of the jet from the central plains into the Midwest and in association with convective outflows. Overall, the key operational focus is the central US storm corridor and its downstream impacts into major Midwest hubs, with secondary concerns being morning low ceilings in the northeast and afternoon convection across the southeast. That's the National Aviation weather picture for today. If this briefing helps your flight planning, consider subscribing for the daily operational outlook. Have the best flight, and we'll see you tomorrow.